In this video, we're going to show you how to trade options using AI and how that helped us find trades like this one here in NVDA that made over $15,592 with a 94.7% win rate and a total return of 1,599%. All right, so in this video, we are going to use this platform called Trade Machine, which basically is going to help us find option trading ideas using AI, right? So if you don't have Trade Machine, if you haven't heard of it, if you want to follow along with the video, you can get a $9 trial on their page here. I'll put a link somewhere in the description or in a button in this video. You can check it out. Well worth it. You'll see how powerful it is in a second. So basically every day around 11 a.m., Trade Machine has this tab here called the Today tab, where they'll send you the new option trade ideas they have for the day that basically they use their AI to find, right? So they basically have AI that scans thousands and thousands of stocks every morning for different technical setups. So you can kind of see these little buckets over here, you know, MACD momentum, buy the dip, fade the dip, bullish bursts, bearish bursts, all these technical terms, which you don't really need to know right now, but basically Trade Machine uses AI to scan for these. And then once they figure out stocks that kind of qualify for these different buckets, it'll then run back tests on the different option strategies to use to figure out which ones are going to be the most profitable with the highest win rates. So for example, let's check out this one here. So this bucket here called bullish bursts. You can see we got 3 here, but only one's listed for today. And this is for Visa. So basically Trade Machine's telling us that Visa right now qualifies for this technical indicator, which is called the bullish bursts. Again, you don't need to know it, but that's all right. And that if you had followed the trades it recommended here, you would have had 11 wins, 3 losses for a cumulative return of 230%. So what are the trades? If you click on the ticker symbol here, it'll take you kind of inside of the exact trade setup it has for Visa. So you can see here, we'd be going long the 40 delta calls with 14 days to expiration. And over here, they kind of give you a little more details on your kind of like entry and exit levels, right? So basically what Trade Machine's telling us here is that we want to set a 40% limit when we get in on this trade, meaning once we are up about 40%, we want to take those gains. And at the same time, it wants us to put in a stop order at 60%, meaning once you're down 60%, exit the trade. So again, we're looking at the 40 delta calls. What is a 40 delta call? If we go to the option chain here, it'll tell us the exact strike price we're looking at. So if it's saying we want a 14 days to expiration, just find the closest one here. In this case, this one's like spot on. And then they have 3 columns over here where it tells you basically your call delta, the implied volatility, and the mid price, which is basically the middle between the bid and the ask. So essentially, what's the cost of the option? So we want to find the call delta closest to 40. In this case, this one's 41. Meaning that we're looking at the July 19th expiration 272.5 strike calls in Visa. And that'll cost us about $2 and let's say 30 cents to get in on this trade, right? So if we want to know exactly what our levels are in terms of the 40% limit, 60% stop, we can just do a little math. So if it costs us about $2.30, we essentially want to put in our limit price when we get in to exit the trade at about $3.22. And we also want to put in our stop to get out of the trade if it hits about 92 cents. So the second you're in the trade, you want to put those levels in right off the bat. So that way you're in and out based on if it goes well or if it doesn't go well. But that way there's no management. It's pre-set up for you, right? So this is just like one of the things you could do within Trade Machine. There's so many other things you could do as well. But one of the really cool things is this backtest tab here. Now, a lot of this stuff can be overly complicated, and we don't need to get into the weeds of it. But essentially, Trade Machine has this proprietary AI that has been proven to actually outperform the market. We're not going to get into how that works because, honestly, they don't tell you. But basically, I know the co-founders are in the process of trying to create a hedge fund around this strategy. But in the meantime, they basically loaded it into Trade Machine. So if you go to the backtest tab here and you go over here to save backtests, you notice a bunch of these are loaded in here. And specifically, there's ones that have these kind of AI labels on them. Those are the ones we want. And in particular, we're going to focus on this one called Spread the Sell-Off. So we're going to load this one up. and we're going to do it for the NASDAQ 100 over the last 3 years. And essentially what Trade Machine is going to do here is it's going to run this backtest on this one specific strategy for the NASDAQ 100 over the last 3 years. And you'll see it kind of start to slowly populate these in over time. There's obviously 100 tickers, so it's going to go through 100 of these. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give us kind of a summary up here at the top and tell us, okay, what was the total return? What was the win rate? What was the average trade? And then kind of give us an idea of, okay, does this strategy actually work right now, in particular for the NASDAQ 100? Because what we want to do is we want to set alerts for ourselves. So that way, if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of time during the day and you don't have a lot of time to manage this stuff, we can use Trade Machine to send us alerts when these kind of AI-powered option trades get triggered. So we'll give this a couple more seconds, and then this is going to kind of load us up a nice little summary at the top. And it's going to show you how powerful this one particular setup is for Trade Machine. So it's still going. You can see it's kind of still populating slowly here. And bam, there's our summary, right? So if you had done this strategy for the NASDAQ 100 over the last 3 years, you would have had a total return of $45,972, obviously, depending on how much you put in, with an 82.68% win rate, 463 wins, 97 losses, and an average trade return of 26.49%. That's insane. And again, this is all powered by their AI. Now, we could take this another level by only selecting the actual trades that have done well here, because if we sort by average trade, you can see that, some did really, really well here. And then if you go to the bottom, we have some where it didn't trigger, or we just have losers, right? So what we want to do is we want to focus on these winners up here and then rerun this and wait till you see kind of what the results look like after we had done that. Okay, so to save you time, we reran this test, but instead we only selected it for the ticker symbols where it actually won. Now look at the difference. So our win rate continued to go up. Now we're at about 85.91%. But check out this average trade. 41.6% is our average return on each individual trade. And these are ones that you hold for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. Insane. So what we want to do, let's say if we want to do this one particular strategies, we want to get alerts. So we just go here and just start checking these all off. And I'm not going to do them all. But if you just go through and check off all of these, you go over here to hit add alert. And then basically if you do that, hit add alert here, you'll get email alerts for these trades every time one of these is triggered. And again, these are super, super powerful. And you could do the same with their other AI-powered backtests here, pre-earnings diagonals, fade the dip, buy the sell-off, et cetera, et cetera. So that way you get these to your email if you don't feel like dealing with this every day and you can't be on a computer. But there are a lot of really powerful things you could do here within Trade Machine. This is just one of them. So if you want to try something that can really, really make a difference in your option trading, give Trade Machine a try. You can get a trial of it for $9. You can go to the page. We'll link it somewhere in the description of this video. Really, really cool what you can do here. And again, if you're brand new to this, just by getting yourself set up with alerts, that can be the most basic way for you to start, or even just using the Today tab here, where you just check this out every day around like 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can even go with some of the more basic setups here. So really, really cool option trading tool here that uses some really, really powerful AI. Give it a try if you haven't, and we'll see you in the next video.